Hey guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. So the weather has been going through a bit of a confusing stage recently. It seems like it went straight from winter, skipped spring, and went straight into the dead of summer. It seems like it went from hovering around like 30 to 40 degrees and like not quite letting go of winter, and then all of a sudden it was like bam! 90 degrees, summer, heat, humidity, everything. And it was kind of overwhelming. Anyways, this got me thinking, I wonder if heat and humidity and weather makes your PMS and your periods worse, or if weather really has any effect at all. So I started researching and looking around online for answers to this question. I couldn't really find a lot. I did find a Bustle article, and they quoted a study that I went and found that basically said during the summer there's a higher frequency of ovulation as well as a shorter menstrual cycle, just shy of about a day actually. And I found all of this interesting, but basically what the article was saying that while weather might have this very minute impact on your actual menstrual cycle, it's more of your day-to-day lifestyle that has a bigger impact, because what you do in the winter is much different than what you do in the summer. If you're like me and kind of a sedentary hermit in the winter and don't do a lot of movement or getting out and about, your PMS and period can be worse than in the summer when you're out and about and active. While this all holds true for me for fatigue, irritability, and general mood in the winter, I have noticed that I get much more painful, intense cramping during the summer when I'm exercising. And not just on my period, but also I'll get very intense ovulation cramps to the point where I'll have to stop and walk and kind of breathe through them because they're so bad. So last summer when I was training for my marathon, I noticed that during my period, when I was out for a run, I would have much heavier flows while I was out running, to the point to where I would leak through clothing. And this happened on multiple occasions. And it happened once where I was just kind of working outside in the heat, and it must have been something about the heat that just made it kind of flow so much faster. I also feel like I can get a bit nauseous on my period when it's extremely hot out. And I noticed this in Sri Lanka this year. I got nauseous and I dry heaved a bit. I think I even threw up the tiniest amount, and it was all just because of the heat, and I was on my period. And while I couldn't find a lot online kind of talking about weather in your period, I found a lot more of how to have your period in hot weather sort of things, not how your period is affected by the weather. I did see a bunch of tips, and it got me thinking about things I do in the warmer months to make my periods and PMS better. And so I was gonna end today's video sharing a couple of those with you. So number one, and the most important thing, is to stay hydrated. Being dehydrated helps no one and helps nothing. It just makes everything all around worse. It can make you more bloated, it can give you worse headaches, your energy, everything. So just make sure you're drinking plenty of water, especially when it's hot out. Wear light, loose clothing. That one's kind of a given. I'm wearing leggings right now, but don't always just live in leggings, especially when it's muggy out. Listen to your body when it comes to exercise. I find that I am such a terrible warm weather runner. Feel so much worse running in the heat. I do so much worse. And so I find I do much better if I wake up early and go running in the morning instead of after work in the heat of the day. When I'm eating more of a fresh plant-based diet, I feel so much better, and I do notice a big improvement in my PMS and my periods. And that's definitely more of a summertime thing for me. I eat more comfort, heavier cooked foods like pastas and breads and that sort of stuff in the winter, which is fine, but I always feel better in the summer. And finally, don't overwork yourself when you're out in the heat, in the sunshine. Make sure you're taking breaks, finding some shade, drinking plenty of water. And it kind of just goes back to this idea of listen to your body, listen to what makes you feel good and what makes you hurt, and kind of do what you can to honor those things. Okay, so since I couldn't find much online, I wanted to ask you guys if you notice a difference between the colder months and the warmer months when it comes to your cycle, your period, your PMS, anything to do with anything related to menstrual cycles. For me, there are definite pros and cons between the different seasons and kind of my periods and my cycles, and it kind of balances out in the end, but I'm curious to hear from you guys of what you have experienced. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to FemmeHead for more videos like this. Give today's video a like if you enjoyed today's content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.